Introduce my full name Nofrison, Doke Dida, usually called Son. One of the topics that I discuss in English assessment if is about separation and purification with the aim of getting to know how to separate and purify. The first starts from the theoretical basic, namely separation and purification is the process of separating two or more substances that are mutually mixed and to obtain pure substances from a polluted or mixed substances. A mixture is an example of impure matter, which is not an element or a compound. The composition of a mixture is not the same as a substances and varies. Mixtures are formed from the two or more different substances that still have the properties of the original substances. In everyday life, we encounter many mixtures such as river water, soil, air, food and drinks, and others. The separation and purification of mixtures has important benefit in chemistry, industry and in everyday life. In many cases and we can use material without purification methods. The material is from the natural source as corrections of scientific. The separation and purification of mixtures has important benefit in chemistry, industry and everyday life. In many cases we can use material without purification whether its material is from natural, such as current and synthesized in the laboratory. Separation and purification mixtures can be homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. This code is taken from Petrucci. Separation and purification mixtures can be homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. This code is taken from Petrucci 1987. Homogeneous mixture is an uneven marker of two or more single substances, so that the ratio of one component to another is not the same in various parts of the vessel. It is said to be a homogeneous mixture because between each component there is still a boundary plane and can often be distinguished without using a microscope, but only by eye. Basically, homogeneous mixtures have properties that are uneven or uniform, or even unequal. This quote is taken from Petrucci 1987. Homogeneous mixtures is the merger of two or more single substances which all parties spread evenly. Heterogeneous mixture is the merger of two or more single substances which all particles spread evenly so as to form one phase. What is the main is substances whose compositional properties and the same between one part and another part is binary. What is the main is a substances whose compositional properties are the same between one part and another part is nearby. It is said to be a heterogeneous mixture is if between its components there is a not boundary plane, so that it is no longer distinguishable. So that is not longer distinguishable, even though using an ultra microscope. This quote is taken from Yukuri 1999. Mixture used in separation and purification can be classified into three forms, namely: solution is a mixture of two or more substances that are dispersed as molecules as ions whose composition can vary. The solution appears homogeneous or continuous without boundaries and has the same composition in each vessel. The components contained in the solution cannot be separated through filtration. Examples and mixture in the form of solution are a mixture of water and sugar, residues are and 22-karat gold goods is taken from Yasid 2005. Solids are a form of molecules whose state lies between coarse mixture and solutions. In this article, we are going to look at a few of the most common types of colloid mixture that can be found in the marketplace and how they can be used in a wide variety of applications. Suspensions is a coarse mixture that is heterogeneous between its components. There is still a boundary plane and can often be distinguished without the help of microscope. After suspensions is usually included for heterogeneous mixture of a solid and liquid. Suspensions appear turbid and unstable. The suspension substances will gradually separate due to the force of gravity or undergo sedimentation, and the suspension can be separated through filtration. Suspension's vertical diameter of the 1000 millimeters. This goods is taken from 205. A solution consists of the solvent and solvent and solid or solid in general. Components that are many in number are considered as solvent, while components that are few in number and considered as solid. This good is taken from Luke Sugary 1999. There are various kinds of mixture separation methods, including of following: separation of solid substances that do not dissolve in liquid substances. There are two decanters or participation. Decanters or precipitation is the separation of the component of the mixture by participation. Filtration is the separation of the component of the mixture by using filter paper. Separations of solids soluble in liquid. There namely three, namely evaporations. In evaporations, the solution is heated until the solvent evaporates and leaves the solids. Crystallization is the separation of components. Mixed components by crystallizing the mixed components by heating and cooling. Crystallization is a change in the form of a solid, where in crystallization the change in form starts from liquid to solid. This quote is taken from the module Basic Chemistry Practicum Quiz 1 Nusa Chandana University 2023. Separations of solid from solids divided into three, namely dissolution and filtration, starting with dissolving. the components to be separate and then add to evaporate. Multi-stage crystallization is a crystallization process carried out many times. Sublimations is two types of solid with sublimates and components that can sublimate, namely components whose heaters melt, then boil and on cooling form vapor that solid. The extraction is the separate operations based on the difference in solubility of components is different solvent, or it can be started that extraction is a process of separating the substances of the substances from its mixture using an appropriate solvent. The principle is method and based on the distribution of solvent with a certain ratio between solvent that do not mix with each other. This quote is taken from Sukri 1999. Mineral solvent can be divided into two, namely polar solvent and non-polar solvent. It is said to be a polar solvent is a compound has been much different in its constituent atoms, whereas is said to be a non-polar solvent is a compound has a relatively small or even zero electronegativity. This quote is taken from Zukri 1999. There are several participles used in the separations and occupancy, namely difference in particle size or different desired substances is difference from unwanted substances or missing some substances. It can be separated by filtration or filtration methods. Difference in boiling point. If one is different is a substance that has a lower boiling point, the next process is to condense the vapor from the substances and drain it into a certain container. Density difference. Substances that have a density greater than the solvent is easily evaporate. Solubility difference. A substances that has different solution partification in general. Solvents are divided into two, namely polar and nonpolar solvent. So a little video about separation and occupation. Thank you.